Galamera, Galamera, Galamera. That took an age to get online. Well, I thought I've got so much good news this morning that it's difficult to know where to start. All right. However, I'm just going to quickly, as I always do, have my quick look at the weather. Um, Early this morning when we got up, we were doing all our little bits of admin. The weather looked absolutely glorious. It really did. But it sort of looks like it's a little bit on the turn. We made a decision, which we shouldn't have done, which we should have done actually after we'd seen Amanda's weather forecast, where basically she'd give us the weather forecast for the day. And as I'm speaking now, the sun is coming out. So we did put the washing on, and there was this debate as to do we do the washing or do we not do the washing. But the sun is now coming back out again, which is absolutely fantastic. As you can see, we've got clear, we've got blue skies with some cloud. We've got some bit of heavy cloud up there, but I think the sun is burning it off. So that's just adding to the feeling of joy this morning, which I'll reveal in a little short while. Also as well, we've got lots of little chicks running about. Where have they gone? We've got some little chicks running about. Oh, there they are. You probably can't see them, but I'm going to try and zoom in. But just underneath that tree over there is little chicks. And we reckon there's about 10 of them at the moment. So, yeah, we're feeling Easter on its way. Got to quickly say quick hello to Heather Nash and Emma Marku. Tim Crystal's tuning in as well, and Andrew the Fridge Watkins. Lovely to see you tuning in, fella. I'm going to reveal some more things in a minute, but I will get to that in just a tick. So anyway, there you go. There's a quick look at the chickens at the moment here. Just zooming back out again. Absolutely awesome. There they are. And the weather today, bit of grim cloud up there, but around the other side, it is actually quite sunny, actually. Or it was. But looking over there now, oh, that's not looking good at the moment. Big shout out to Graham Bint in Australia. Nice to see you tuning in. Also, Sweden is online as well with Maria. Nice to see you, Maria. And there you go. Absolutely awesome. There's the clouds at the moment. They are obscuring the sun, so hopefully it's going to burn it off. But it's not cold. I'll give you that. It's not cold. There's no chill. So it's quite nice. Looking up towards Sillavi direction. Again, it's a bit cloudy and there are almost clouds up there. So whether we're going to get washing done or not, or get the washing out, that's the main thing. Getting the washing out, that is the main issue. But at the moment, we shall wait and see. Right, now, two really fantastic bits of news before we start. First of all, can I just say a big thank you to Howie over there, my old boss, in Australia, who has been keeping tabs on that story about the lady, the 78-year-old woman who got mugged outside of a church. Let me just quickly try and get the screen back round again at the moment, because I've lost. Just can I say thank you to Howie, who last night got in touch with me and sent me some information. It seems a man has been arrested in Melbourne, all right, for the attack on the 78-year-old grandmother. Her name was Penelope, who was attacked outside a Greek Orthodox church in South Yarra. Now, a man by the name of Emerick Roy, he appeared in court yesterday in Melbourne, and he has been charged on 6 charges of intentionally causing serious injury, recklessly causing serious injury, intentionally causing serious injury, robbery and theft. Mr. Roy is also charged with intentionally causing injury and recklessly cause injury in relation to another incident that occurred on the same day that the woman was mugged outside the church in South Yarra. Anyway, this other incident took place in Para, which is in a suburb close to South Yarra. And basically he was caught. I'm not sure about what's happened about the woman that was supposedly with him, but at least they've caught him. Anyway, as the press have written, horrifying pictures of Mrs. Cavos were sitting on the church steps with a bloodied and bruised face after the incident shocked parishioners and wider Melbourne community, as well as the international community as well. So anyway, we wish her all the best. I hope she gets well, and we'll see if how Australian justice will work, and see what the outcome is when the man goes to trial. Anyway, the other great news is you will probably realise that I am broadcasting to you on Facebook this morning. I was going to do that anyway, because yesterday it was such a nose trying to get the news out. Can I thank everybody for your support in about being struck down from YouTube and me getting a warning. This morning, other great news came through. I won the appeal. I am so chuffed. I'm so psyched. I had a message this morning from YouTube, and I'm going to quickly read you what they said. They said, hello, DJ Ginge Coldwell. We have reviewed your appeal for the following content. Video, DJ Ginge Coldwell's Greek News, 17th of March, 2021. And after taking another look, we can confirm that your content does not violate community guidelines. Thanks for your patience while we review this appeal. Our goal is to make sure content doesn't violate our community guidelines so that YouTube can be a safe place for all. And sometimes we make mistakes trying to get it right. We're sorry for any frustration our mistake caused you, and we appreciate you letting us know. How this affects your channel: we've reinstated your content. If your appeal was for a warning, you'll be allowed another warning in the future. If your appeal was for a strike, we've removed the strike against your channel. So that's fantastic. And I did check this morning that the video from St. Patrick's Day is back up online, so you can watch that video yourselves, and it does restore your faith. Actually, I've got to be honest. I thought, I'm trying to get in touch with a mindless computer-run bureaucracy running on algorithms. So it seems there's a human being somewhere that took the time to sit and watch that, and obviously they have realised that basically, I'm not breaking any community guideline restrictions, etc., and that basically, all is well. So I'm so chuffed, I'm so psyched after yesterday, because it's just so awkward just doing the news yesterday, and it just made the job harder, all right, to do stuff, all right, and not because of what is said, but because of the fact that it's just getting it spread around. YouTube is the most quickest and direct way for people to be able to see my broadcast if you can't watch it live, or you want to watch it again and catch up. And also for me as well, as an archive of all the news I've done since last year, basically, so that I can keep tabs on what I've said and what's been said. And it's a very quick archive for me to find all that information. So once again, can I just thank all those people yesterday that were banging the drum for me. Can I just say a big thank you to John Paul over there in Florida. He wanted me to make an appeal as well. Thank you for that, John. I'm going to look into that at the moment, mate. But at the moment, I'm so pleased that we're back up online again. YouTube has seen some sense. And also, it means that free speech is a little closer, shall we say, to being allowed at the moment in this very, very troubling times. And also, again, thank you to everybody who supported me as well. I am so pleased as well at the result, and thank you again. Right, now, I'm going to quickly get down to the news of the day. What's been going on in the last 24 hours. First of all, we'll look at the stats. I'm not even going to say the name of it. We all know what it is. I'm going to look at the stats, all right, for the last 24 hours in case that algorithm kicks in again. At the moment, it's not looking good. Yesterday, I'll rephrase that. The number of infections was down yesterday. You may remember it was 3,465 on yesterday's report. Well, last night it was at 3,073. So it has dropped a bit. That brings the total amount of infections since the pandemic began to 230,317. Now, again, what's down is cases on entry into the country. You might remember we had 12 cases the other day. Well, yesterday it was only 4 cases were identified entry points into the country. So that's good news. Now, according to the national stats yesterday, Macardo had 7 new infections. There was 1 new infection in Kefalonia, 7 new infections in Corfu, and Zakynthos had showed 11 cases on yesterday's stats. However, when I started doing my checks yesterday, we actually had 12, all right? Yeah, 12 cases proved positive here of coronavirus on Zakynthos for yesterday, the 18th of March. Now, interestingly, 7 of these positive cases came from the mobile detection unit of the Greek Health, and they were carrying out a sampling yesterday in Solomon Square, where they detected 7 people who tested positive from the 88 people that they carried out tests on. Now, those people have been home quarantined for 14 days, and obviously they're now going to start tracing their contacts as well. Also yesterday, 2 crewmen from the ferry called Kefalonia, they also tested positive for the virus. Now, at the moment, that vessel is actually in port undergoing maintenance at the moment. So it wasn't exactly out carrying passengers on the high seas, as it were, but it was actually in the port, actually doing work. It seems these 2 crew members didn't feel well, obviously went to the hospital, were then tested, found to be positive, and obviously sent home to home quarantine. Their contacts are all being traced at the moment, and they obviously going to be at home for 14 days. So again, that was another 2 cases yesterday, which brought it up to 7. Now, there were 3 more positive cases were confirmed from private clinics as well. A 63-year-old, a 50-year-old, and a 38-year-old man last night all tested positive from home quarantine. They all tested positive and were sent home to home quarantine as well. Now, the question that I raised yesterday was about this talk about the figures becoming blurred and a bit muddled, all right? To a degree, that is true. So what I did yesterday, I went round to visit some pharmacies just to find out what the procedure was, whether pharmacies were actually doing COVID tests. Well, to be honest, the pharmacies are not doing COVID tests. They made that very clear to me that they're not responsible for doing testing. However, it is the laboratories, here on Zakynthos and also in other parts of Greece. The health service here has had issues with trying to do blood tests and things like that. And normally that kind of work is farmed out to private laboratories. Now, the private laboratories are doing testing. So what happens is, and this was given to me from the pharmacies, is that if you go to a laboratory and go for a COVID test there and you test positive, they will send your score, as it were, up to the Greek Health. If you're showing signs that you've got the disease, i.e. you've got the feeling, the symptoms of it and everything else, and the test shows positive, they will send you to the hospital to be seen again, where obviously they will confirm the result, and also they will look at you to see whether you should go home to quarantine or whether you should actually go into the COVID clinic. And so just to clear that up, so now you can understand that this is how the figures are coming from different directions at the moment here on the island. So anyway, what does that mean in the way of what's happened in our total numbers at the moment? Well, Zakynthos has had now 184 positive cases since the beginning of the year, 30 cases for the month of January, 70 cases for the month of February, and this month alone we've had 84 cases for March. So March has overtaken February, and that gives us a total of 184 positive cases since the beginning of the year. Now, when it comes to deaths yesterday, the death rate is actually down. The day before I reported to you that we had 56 deaths across the country, 45 new deaths have been reported, and unfortunately one of those deaths is of a local lady, a 74-year-old Zakynthos woman, died from the virus. She'd been diagnosed in previous days. However, yesterday she was admitted to the ICU at the Zakynthos General Hospital, and in the early hours of Thursday, at around about 12:25 after midnight, unfortunately, the 74-year-old lady passed away. So can I just offer our condolences for the family, for their loss at this time. So that means that the amount of deaths we've had on Zakynthos since the beginning of the year is now 3 deaths. So we had 1 death in February, which was a 70-year-old. We had 1 death the other week, which was an 88-year-old. And we've now had 1 more death, which is the 74-year-old that passed away yesterday. So once again, our condolences to the family. Once again, just to remind you that 96.4% of those people that passed away yesterday had underlying health problems or were over the age of 70. And the average death rate for Greece in 2019 was 329 deaths a day. All right, just to put that into context. Anyway, the cockerel is sending his condolences from the sounds of it, bless him. Anyway, let's go on to today's news then. The Greek government is planning to announce some limited adjustments on restrictions of citizens' movements in the next couple of days to tackle the lockdown fatigue, where everybody at the moment is just really fed up with everything that's going on. This, they hope, will even as the pressure is mounting on the healthcare system with the rising numbers of hospitalizations. Now, I would kind of dispute that a little bit. Yes, the numbers have been going up, but we're now starting to see the numbers come down slightly as well. So not by a great deal, but at least they seem to be easing off. The country has been in various degrees of lockdown for more than 4 months. Yeah, 4 months, good. And is now facing a 3rd wave of pandemic. Now, according to sources, the government believes that although the epidemiology data paints a grim picture, the sunnier weather allows people to remain outdoors for larger periods of time. Now, the most likely scenario, now this is more for Athens rather than for Zakynthos, all right, is because at the moment they're looking at pushing the curfew in that area to 9 p.m. from its current 7 p.m. At the moment, we've still got a curfew at 9 p.m. at the moment. And they're also talking about a possible extension to the curfew over the weekends. Now, at the moment, we'd like to see extensions to the curfew. Not that we can do much. There's not many places we can go because technically we're not allowed to mix with family. And obviously all the bars and restaurants and stuff like that are closed. But again, if you can go out and about, freely and exercise freely, then obviously that would obviously be great, because at the moment, if you remember, at the moment we're not allowed to exercise away from our home location. All right. Anyway, the government is also likely, get this, the government is also likely to open beauty salons on Monday, March the 22nd to allow people to use their cars when going out for exercise. There is also a suggestion that outdoor archaeology sites, we don't really have any here, could also reopen, although the proposal is less likely to gather a pace. So we'll see on that. Now, a national committee of experts advising the government on the pandemic will hold its regular meeting on Friday to examine some of those proposals. And on Wednesday, the health authority reported a record number of coronavirus infections, which were 3,465, and a record number of patients on ventilators at 630, while the rate of positive tests was 5.5% on par with the recent days. Again, I think the more you test, the more you're going to find, and you still have to be looking at our deaths to our people that are incubated to get a feel as to how the situation is. Anyway, the government also confirmed today that the commencement of the vaccination appointments for 2 further categories of age groups, that is from the 70 to 74 age group, the appointment platform is open as of today. Now, we have a lot of friends in that bracket, and so now you can make your appointment. And the easiest way to do that is to just go to your local pharmacy, speak to them, and they can book you in for your appointment. And it looks like this group's appointments are going to start round about April the 2nd. all right, that's when they will start their appointments as well. Anyway, if you're one of those who's registered on the intangible prescription scheme, I think that must mean the automatic prescription scheme, you'll automatically receive an SMS, a text message, where you can obviously book your appointment through that. But I think for the easiest thing for expats and alike is just go to your pharmacy, speak to them. We have some very good pharmacies around where we are, and they will quite happily book you an appointment there, and it takes the stress off you. And if you really want to get stressed, you can always go to the KEP office in town and book your appointment in the KEP office. But I think give the work to the pharmacies, all right? And they can obviously help you on that score as well. Also, as well, another bit of information for you. This is people with children. The Greek Education Minister, Nikki Karamas, announced on Wednesday that the Greek school year will be extended, but not past June. All right. She added that the countrywide university entrance exams will take place as scheduled, which is normally in mid-June. She said it is the government's absolute priority to open up schools, especially junior high and high schools. Got to remember, at the moment the schools are still closed at the moment until the 29th of March at the moment because of what's been going on the island. Anyway, schools currently are providing online lessons, and they're expected to reopen again in early April. So kids not even getting online learning at the moment. They are just at home until the 29th. Anyway, another good bit of news, which is locally based, is radical changes are coming for both pets and strays with a new bill, which is soon going to go forward for consultation. Now, the differences concern not only owners, but also those who proceed to abandon their kept animals, while the new laws set particular strict conditions for animals giving birth, with rules and many other issues. Now, this is actual fact legislation that the treasurer of the Zakynthos Animal Welfare Group, Yota Limenos, has been involved in the Pacific drafting of this bill that hopefully will get passed through the Parliament. Anyway, she said the new law is in the right direction and has many innovation elements to which the majority of animal welfare organisations actually agree. Anyway, the bill plans a register of animal welfare organisations and associations. They also agree that a register of shelters and a register for professional and amateur breeders. So people just cannot get their animals to give birth. They've got to be registered. So that might actually help to cut down on the amount of strays that we might see as well. At the same time, there will be a panhellenic platform for the adoption of stray animals and a register of voluntary blood donations. I didn't realise that animals gave blood donations. There's an interesting one for you. But they're looking at putting adoption on an actual proper platform where it is done across the country and not done within the different municipalities. Will all have their different take on how they want to run it. Also, Ms. Limnos noted that the Ministry of the Interior will have the supervision, and it will not be the Minister of Rural Development, as was done in the past. So in other words, they've taken the duties off them and given it to the Ministry of the Interior. Anyway, this will now solve several important problems, they said. In fact, she stressed that as far as municipalities are concerned, there will be a supervision over what is happening on the issue of strays. It will oblige and will give them the tools, and they will be able to work with volunteers or individuals to do collections, marking, electronic recording, tagging, sterilisation care, and they'll also be able to establish and operate shelters and even crematoriums. Obviously, so when animals do die, they can obviously be cremated. Anyway, a special monitoring committee will be appointed to monitor them, and they will be working as with the participation of representatives from CADI, which is the animal welfare here in Greece. Also, there's a voucher scheme that's been talked about, which will be available for stray animals, which will be used for those animals to be chipped and sterilised. And obviously, people who are finding themselves in financial difficulty could probably get one of these vouchers and obviously get their animal neutered as well, so that they don't have more pups or more more pups mainly given them, because they can obviously get it paid for through a voucher scheme. So again, that's a good move forward, and we'll wait and see. I've always said it's about education. If people learn and understand that just by having a dog neutered, it's no disrespect to the dog. Let him have his, because you're better off basically having an animal that's sterilised, and you've got no danger of further strays going onto the streets, and hopefully it may cut down on the amount of strays that we already have here on the island. And obviously it's like a never-ending battle. So again, I'm pleased about this. It should be noted that this is just a draft law, all right? Okay, and it is the work of the former Deputy Minister of the Interior, Theodoros Livanos, who, in order to proceed with this, also included the animal welfare organisations in the discussion in order to have a better picture of the bill. Anyway, Ms Limnos also stressed that the new bill comes to solve problems of adoptions, because until now the process was difficult and time consuming. And yes, that is very true. At the moment, a lot of the volunteer people who've been looking after animals are worried that they're not going to be able to give these animals foster homes because of the way that the legislation here is on Zakynthos. We're getting these animals away. So the good thing about this is going forward to hopefully getting everybody on the same playing field across Greece. So whether you're in Crete or whether you're in Corfu or whether you're in Zakynthos, if you want to take an animal out of the country and give it a home in some other location, you can do it, because a standard is nationally set, which again, local municipalities can't quibble with. And obviously, they have to do as the law says. So anyway, I'm pleased about that. That's a real good positive at the moment. I have seen some comments coming online, all right, and I will get to those as well. And then finally, I thought this was important because we have a lot of Greek people who tune into the show. I also have Greeks here who are carers for people here from family. And again, with the lockdown, anybody who has got a relative that's suffering from Alzheimer's, I would think with the lockdown, it is proving very difficult for some people at the moment. So anyway, good news. I never knew about this. This is something new to me, and it might be something new to you, that the Alzheimer's Society of Athens, with the support of the Ministry of Health, for the Attica region and for the Greek intermunicipality network of health cities, have created a dementia helpline. Okay, and the number for that, if you want it, is 1102. Now, this line is manned by specialised counsellors, health professionals, neurologists, and also psychiatrists as well. And their aim is to basically give support and guidance and advice, and to liaise with people who have family members who have memory problems, also carers and family friends with dementia themselves, and also health professionals as well who might be looking for help in doing their job. So once again, I'll give you that number. It is 1102, 1102. Now, one thing, unlike the other helpline for abuse, I'm not sure whether it does it in English as well as doing it in Greek. But at least if you do have somebody who is caring for somebody here who may have a yaya that they're looking after that's got dementia, they might not speak Greek fantastically, but their husband or partner may speak the language. There is a number there for you to call to get some help, get some advice, or maybe move things forward, or maybe just a shoulder to vent on about the frustrations of what's going on, and also the help that you might not know that you could get. All right. So once again, I'll give you that number, which is 1102. All right. Right then, let's have a quick look and see who's tuning in. I can see quite a lot of comments at the moment, which is really great. Once again, I'm looking at the weather at the moment. The weather's getting sunny again, so I'm really pleased about that. I am still streaming up. All right, Andy the Fridge Watkins, I'll say hello. I said hello to you. Mike Gatlin is also tuning in as well. I should think, Mike, you're really pleased about this legislation. I know you're probably a bit of a cynic like me. We'll see where it goes, and we've been down this road before, but let's remain positive. Anyway, Yvonne Hughes is also tuning in as well. Emma Marku is watching. Thank you, Emma. Heather Nash from Birmingham is tuning in as well. Lovely to have you looking in, Heather. Nice to see you back on Facebook as well. Anyway, Tim Crystal from Oxford is tuning in. I've got to be honest, Tim did give me some information, reference entertainers coming over here to Greece to work in the summer. It is proving mightily difficult at the moment. Greece is, Tim's been talking with the Greek embassy. However, all of a sudden, the Greek embassy aren't picking up their phone anymore, and they seem to have gone into a phase of we'll wait and see and we'll wait and see. So at the moment, no positive news for entertainers coming over to Greece for the summer, as all of a sudden the Greek embassy doesn't seem to be wanting to pick the phone up. And also they're looking at the costs that they're going to impose on people. They could be prohibitive costs, as well as the paperwork that is involved as well. But we shall wait and see how it turns out. Anyway, Heather Nash says, morning, mate, it's raining in Birmingham. Thank you for that. Graham Bint is also tuning in as well. Maria Hallberg is also tuning in from Sweden. Ian Daly is also tuning in. Nice to see you looking in, Ian. Jean Lils is looking in. Galimera from Huddersfield. Oh, bless you. Rossi is also tuning in from Australia. Nice to have you tuning in, Rossi. Rena Pete Dillon is watching. Lindsay Lamb is also watching from the island as well. I know you've got a comment coming up a bit further down, and I'll get to that. Jack Harmer is also watching. Nice to have you tuning in. Raf Reg Buddy. Claire Thompson is watching as well. Nice to see you. Alan Woodhouse is there as well. Maureen Elves from around the corner is tuning in. Bless you. Jack Harmer says, well done with the appeal, mate, per ardua. Thank you very much for that, Jack. It does restore my faith. I've got to be honest, it's restored my faith. I've technically only lost one episode, which was yesterday's, because obviously I couldn't put it up, but the offending video is still up, or has been reinstated, so you can watch what was said, and you work out whether I was breaking any community guideline rules in that. I still insist I didn't. And now YouTube has reviewed it and said, no, as far as we're concerned, you've not said anything contrary to what the World Health Organization might be saying. Anyway, Rainer Pete Dillon says, top of the morning to you, Ginge. Well done for winning your appeal. Thank you very much. Heather Nash says, oh, I'm so happy for you, mate. Have a lovely day. Rossi says, hi, Ginge. Congrats, mate. This is great news. You are a star. Thank you very much, Rossi. Sue Saint is watching as well. Thank you, Sue. Sue Saint says, morning. Congratulations on your appeal. Alan Woodhouse says, well done, Ginge. Have a great weekend from cloudy Blackpool. Bless you. Oh, Blackpool. I love Blackpool. Anyway, thank you for tuning in, mate. Curtis Bailey is also watching. Thank you for tuning in, Curtis. Lucy Dyke is watching as well. Amanda Gregory is watching. Andrew Pack Verulance is also watching as well. Nice to see you here. Andrew, here's the weather forecast, okay? Good morning, Ginge. Sunny this morning, although dark clouds and gathering rain expected in the afternoon. Alert for heavy rain and wind overnight. High of 15 degrees. Have a fab day. Thank you for that nice, concise thing. I'm looking at the clouds now, and they are looking grim. I've got to be honest. And we have got washing in the machine at the moment, buzzing away. I think that might be going out tomorrow, if tomorrow's any better. Shane Bowen in Exmoor is tuning in as well, mate. He says, Galimera Ginge, been to Littleton and got my mythos ready for your show later. Oh, bless you. Just to remind you, don't forget, 2 shows from me today. My first live show coming from Studio One here in Macarado, and then later my second dance anthem show, and I've got an absolute banger of a show for you on dance anthems on beatsradio.co.uk. Don't forget, my show goes out your time, 3 o'clock till 5 o'clock, the live show from here, requests and inspirations. Looking for more requests and inspirations, get them down below in the comments area. And then the next show kicks off on beatsradio.co.uk. There'll be links in from this afternoon. You can jump across to that one as soon as I finish here, and you can then enjoy 2 hours of some of the best dance music around, tunes that are anthems, tunes that I think will be anthems, and tunes that have been anthems. All right, great mixture of music. And when I made the show, I felt really positive. I thought, wow, I'm in for a good weekend, even though I made it on Monday. But it doesn't matter. Enjoy it anyway, and you'll love it this afternoon. And I will be in the chat room as well, just lurking about, taking requests and dedications for future dance anthem shows. And then don't forget, on Sunday, it's my Northern Soul show as well. Again, 2 hours of Northern Soul, 5 o'clock till 7 o'clock UK time on Sunday evening. So come and join us for that. And again, I'll be lurking in the chat room on Sunday evening. Anyway, Rosewood is watching. Chippy Woods is watching from Spain. Sam Curtis from Brighton is watching. Maria Hadelberg in Sweden says, Galimera Ginge, well done on your appeal. Have a lovely weekend. Trust me, I will do. Zanti Pete said, good morning, Ginge, and all peeking in. Have a great day and stay safe and happy. That's all the viewers over there on the Argosy board, where the show is also going out with them at the moment. And thank you for sharing that show there as well. Greatly appreciated. Sam Curtis is also says, hi, Ginge, good morning from a lovely sunny mild day in Brighton. Looking forward to you, both of your shows this afternoon. I'm looking forward to send me your playlist, all right, of tunes that you are suggesting for me for the Dance Anthem show. Just drop them in an email, all right? I'll collate them and I'll be making that show on the Monday, all right? Because I try and work as quickly as I can just to get the stuff out, all right? Because it's like a production house here, I tell you wouldn't believe. As soon as one show finishes, the next one is in production, ready for the next show. Anyway, Mark Pickup is watching. Lindsay Lamb says, all schools are online learning. Okay, our Blake's only been in 8 days in 7 months. Everything else online. Okay, cheers for that, my lovely. I was under the impression that the kids weren't back until the end of the month, and that's that back in the classroom at the end of the month. But even so, 8 days in 7 months in schools. Kids have to go back to school, right? They need the interaction. They need to be with their friends. For mental health for children, it's vitally important. They also need to be able to get extra help from their teachers. And also, there are children who are in homes where it is not a healthy environment for them, and going to school is the only escape that they have. And I know in the UK, I have a friend at the moment, I'm not going to say who it is, one of his jobs, he's been basically taking food parcels to families and food to children that attend his school, because they can't come into the school because they're like essential workers. Only essential workers children were being taught. So one of his duties was to take food and food parcels to other homes of children that he was involved with teaching. And he said he's had his eyes absolutely opened. This learning online is a big pile of rubbish, to be quite honest. It might work for some people, but in the majority, school is important, not just from the education side, but the social interaction. So the sooner the kids are back at school anywhere, and I'm talking the UK as well as here and other countries where kids are probably online learning, it's needed. And also, I had this discussion yesterday, the other day with a parent, is the fact that you've got 3 kids from 3 different years in a class, in a school. You need 3 tablets, you need 3 laptops, you need 3 phones, and some of these people can't afford it. Now, there was a thing where tablets were bought by the municipality to be given out to people in need. And again, I've not heard any follow-up stories to say that these tablets arrived and that they're being used for kids to do lessons. So if anybody knows if anybody's received one of these tablets, I'd like to know, all right? Because let's stay on top of this. It's all very good to have your name in the papers. I've just donated 100 tablets and I've done this and I've done that. But let's see the follow-up story, that they've gone to where they've got to go so that people can use them. And also, there are probably people here who haven't got the internet facility to be able to sustain classes for the children, especially when you've got 3 kids all in the same house, all trying to learn, and you haven't got the facilities and wherefore to do it. So again, this online learning is a little bit of a utopia that for a lot of people doesn't really exist in the real world. But anyway, we'll see what happens. Anyway, Vicky Lowe is watching. Charles Ballantyne is watching. Suze Waldron is watching as well. Lovely to see you here. Susie Angus is also tuning in. Amanda Gregory, a huge step in the right direction for the animals. Yes, it is a huge step. But as I've said before, we've been down this road before. Don't count your chickens before they hatch. Let's just see that if anything comes of this, and if it does, fantastic. But again, I'm not holding up too much hope. I don't want to jinx it, but I just feel there's a long way to go yet, and I know things can move very, very slowly, but we'll get there in the end. But anyway, thank you for that, and we'll keep checking in on that. Dave Camp looking in, says, Gallimera, mate, wishing Janie and yourself a beautiful weekend. Thank you very much, sir. Zanti Pete said, wouldn't it be great if Zanti Strays, Healing Paws, etc. had to close? Wouldn't it be great if Zanti Strays, Healing Paws, etc. had to close due to lack of strays? Just a dream, but great to see a move in the right direction. Yeah, I think that's true, mate. But whether we'll ever see, again, the utopia of no strays, look at the UK at the moment. They still have thousands of dogs that are strays, illegal puppy farms, all sorts of stuff like that. All you can do is just educate people, educate. Get people to change their old ways of, oh, the dog must have his balls, etc. Neuter your animals, especially females, neuter them, all right? So they're not bringing pups that have got no home and nowhere to go. And, controlled breeding as well is the way ahead, all right? We've got enough animals here at the moment without adding any more, all right, on the scale that we have seen. But I've got to be honest, since I first arrived here in 2005, things have improved. I'll give it that. Things have improved, and things are looking better. You now see more responsibility for dogs, and it's a pleasure when you go to the vets and you see people there, obviously people who do look after and treasure their animals, taking them for their, injections, taking them for advice. And that's the great thing about Greece. And this is something I've always said. It's so easy to own animals here in comparison to the UK in the way of care. We don't pay a consultation fee of £70 just to walk in the surgery with your dog for him to look at it. We get that for free. And all we pay for are the drugs, and we pay for the operation if it has to have one. That means there's no excuse, really, for anybody not taking care of their animals. I can understand it in Britain, where it's all about insurance policies and about, do I take the dog to the vets unless it's really serious? Sounds a bit like American health system, care system. But the point is, it is free here. And let's hope it stays like that. Let's not hope that this encourages the vets to start charging consultation fees, all right? Let me not let the cat out of the bag, all right? So anyway, thanks for that, Pete. I appreciate that. Heather Nash says, I'm looking forward to your show this afternoon. Jim Mattison is also tuning in. Nice to see you tuning in. There's an old Raffridge buddy and a name from the past. Also, as well, Amanda Gregory, it's not just collecting strays, Pete. These charities help injured animals. Yeah, that's true. And also to cure them as well. There is animal cruelty. Animals do get injured, hit by cars, stuff like that. And the animal charities do that as well, all right? Thank you for bringing that around as well. Diane Round is watching. Karen Bush is watching. Nice to see you, my lovely. Zanti Pete, great news regards the appeal. Congrats. Thank you, fella. Oh, God, lost me place there. Listen, I've got loads of people still tuning in, dropping me their thanks and regards. Thank you very much indeed. I do appreciate all the support, and thank you for the outpouring of support yesterday when obviously I was doing my first broadcast after the ban. I'm so pleased now that I've been reinstated, because I tell you what, it just makes getting the news out a lot easier. And I'll give them their due, Facebook. I'm pleased that a human being took the time to look at what I'd done and deemed that there was no breach of community standards, etc., etc. And I'm back broadcasting again. So anyway, I'm going to leave it at that. Just one last comment from Amanda Gregory. She says, "Go, Ginge." Thank you. I am going to go in 2 ways, now and referred vigour. Oh, and today is our day for going shopping today. It's our weekly day out, Jane and I, where we go and do our shopping before, you know it, we'll get locked down because of our infection rate again. But hopefully not. Hopefully they're going to start easing restrictions, and we'll find out today if the government is going to do that or not. Anyway, thank you from me. I've got to stop now because I sound like I'm burbling on, and I will catch you guys later this afternoon, 3 o'clock UK time, which is 5 o'clock Greek time. And then don't forget tonight, as soon as I finish that show, Requesting Inspirations, Beats Radio, 5 o'clock UK time till 7 o'clock UK time, with 2 more hours of dance music for you. Anyway, I'll catch you later. You be good. Have a great day, and I'll see you later. Ta-ra.